dito sa PGS Promotions and Relegations. We're gonna be your shoutcasters at ako po, si Jin Bumino One for an Eye, at kasama this time si Iconic. Nanggaling tayo sa Game 1 of this Best of 3 series between JSKI Esports versus Adobo Republic. Game 1, convincingly won by JSKI Esports. So far, initial insights po dito sa dalawang teams na to.
Game 1 was actually super chaotic. You didn't see a lot of macro plays. You just saw a lot of skirmishing, a lot of
head-on collapse
fights.
talaga.
Yeah, usually that's what we saw the entire Game 1. I'm actually looking forward to Adobo Republic picking a better composition this game because they are the veterans of multiple professional teams back then. So I hope that they fix their drafting this game.
Yes, and of course, we are now in the drafting phase. Isa nga sa mga major questions ng game na yon was of Adobo Republic's, composition na kind of nagkukulang sa damage. Now, considering the bans here so far, ano kaya nakikita nating adjustments? I'm seeing though, Adobo Republic removing the Graves na. Yeah?
Yeah, Adobo Republic respecting the Graves. Graves is actually super strong this patch because he can power clear and power farm. Last season, we saw, like, before the preseason changes, power farming was already super strong. But with the 6.23 changes, power farming is just insane, where if you farm for a really long time, you can get ahead of your laners in terms of EXP and gold.
Yeah, actually, parang there's this instance nga na 2 camps pa lang makakapag-level 3 ka na.
Yes.
Sige. So, for the bans naman dito ng JSKI Esports still po, Papi, Lucian, Rengar. So, there's these changes. Lucian gets removed still. But, wow, JSKI Esports this time very willing to show up. Kami naman ngayon magpapakita ng Ivern. This is very, very interesting considering na nanggaling yung jungler ng JSKI Esports sa isang Graves. And now I'm gonna go for Ivern. If Ivern goes for the jungle, but seeing with a Karma that could also flex for the support, medyo mas tumataas tuloy yung odds na itong Ivern natin would really go in the jungle.
Yeah, I like how Adobo just picks Caitlyn out first pick. Just because how Caitlyn is super lane dominant right now. Lane dominance is what's been key, as we've seen for the past for so many patches. Even in the preseason now, lane dominance is so important because the name of the game right now is getting your jungler ahead. If your jungler's ahead, he can win the game for you. So as we saw last game, what happened was a 0-2 start for JSKI Esports. They were able to get the kill onto the Ivern and onto the Echo, and that just snowballed the game in JSKI's favor.
Not just for the junglers, pati yung ibang lanes
yes,
din, no?
Also.
Nagkaroon din ng lead advantage in terms of level. We're seeing an Ari getting locked in paired with Zac para sa second rotations dito ng Adobo Republic. Ang isasagot dito ng JSKI Esports yet to pick their ADC over on that Jean. And now we're seeing an Oriana. So far, initial insights.
Very comfort picks coming. These are very comfortable picks coming out from Adobo, especially Fade and Meme. They both play a ton of Zac. They also play a ton of Ari. Fade also known for his LeBlanc play, but they actually ended up banning it. But I like this Ari pick. It kind of worked last game. Usually you want really strong wave clear, really strong kill potential coming out from your mid laner. Ari actually fits the bill pretty well. Somewhat like a Victor, but more mobile as well.
Yeah.
So for JSKI Esports, I was also wanted to touch on the fact that these are actually possible flex picks. Because we've seen Ivern go support as well. So we can't actually guarantee if the Ivern is gonna go jungle. And the Karma as well. Can go mid lane, can go top lane, can go support.
I just have the biggest question talaga kasi nanghihinayan talaga lang ako sa nawawalang passive ni Ivern whenever you decide to play support with him. Unless you go for that cheesy rotation nga naman. Diba?
Well, I think the reason why JSKI Esports actually picked this Ivern was because Caitlyn was first pick. And we've seen Mineski execute the Ivern Caitlyn pretty well. We also saw it being pulled out by the Team Philippines and the Garena All-Stars. And
you said story of the game is, lane dominance. And mas lalo nakaka-dominate ng lane si Caitlyn kapag may Ivern.
Because of how she can proc her headshots onto the enemy team. So right now, we don't actually have any clear idea what JSKI Esports has up their sleeve, because we don't know who their support is, who their top laner is, and who their jungler is. Because those two, their first rotation picks are actually both flex picks. We only can tell for sure that JSKI Esports is running an Oriana mid lane and a Jhin AD carry. But this is a very, very cheesy pick coming out from Adobo Republic. Not a lot of people are very familiar with it.
This
Nasus pick.
Nasus
has been seeing a lot of play right now in solo queue. Yes, actually, because what happens is they start Nasus with a Doran's Ring
Okay.
and 2 biscuits. Then they just keep spamming his AoE ability, Spirit Fire, onto the lane, keep shoving the lane in, until he earns 900 gold, backs, buys a second Doran String plus a Corrupting Potion, go backs the lane, keeps pushing the lane until he gets a ZZ Rot, and then he just takes your turret. There is minimal counterplay to this. Usually, as
It's like a Morgana.
it's like a Morgana, it's like a Galio, it's like a Heimerdinger who just cheeses with ZZ Rot. It's
Yeah.
the exact same thing. But we have Kennen locked in for JSKI Esports right now as their top laner. Usually, as I actually asked Endless Ace about this, the new player for AEX, I asked him, "Hey Anjo, what's the best way to play around Nasus and the ZZ Rot cheese?" And he was telling me, well, Iconic, all you have to do is you have to pick a laner, a champion who has strong wave clear, kill potential, and has a ton of sustain, which is very hard to find.
Yeah.
Very hard to find. So
He's looking for a god.
usually, if you're up against a Nasus in the mid lane, you would play Syndra because Syndra actually has decent kill potential and wave clear.
Yes.
But in the top lane, you would want to get someone like a Morgana, a Galio, these very
Someone
off-meta
with a
picks.
kill potential, sustain, wave clear. Vladimir.
The thing about Vladimir is his wave clear is pretty weak in the first few levels, so he will
Okay.
fall behind. Unlike Galio, who at level 2 can already start wave
Yes,
clearing,
actually.
Morgana at level 1 can start wave
All you
clearing.
need is the unholy grail or the chalice for Galio and you're good.
Yes,
Good to go.
actually they also go double. What you fight fire with fire
It's
against
double,
this.
double
You also go
Torrents.
double Doran String, Corrupting Potion, and then ZZ Rot. So that's what it's been all about in solo queue. That's why you see sometimes
So
when
that's
we
the
play
story of the top lane. Top lane has gone down that way now.
top lane and mid lane
And mid
actually.
lane,
So I don't know how this is gonna work because Kennen has really poor wave clear. If the Nasus is going to build like solo queue Nasus, then it's gonna look really bad for JSKI Esports just because they're going to have their top lane shoved in all the time, and their jungler will have to respond to that, which means lesser map pressure from the Ivern.
Okay, and so guys, do take note. JSKI Esports has already a score of 1 in this best of 3 series. This is a match point for them. If they manage to take another victory, boom, they are in the pro gaming series, and one of our commissioned players to be part of the salary program.
Yes.
That's the big hype right now for the pro gaming series. So a lot is on stake for the semi-pro teams as they buy in and bid on these promotions, on these PGS promotions. Do take note, that's aside from the name PGS Promotions and Relegations, this is the Built-Overs Finals, Built-Overs Finest Finals. So it's been a long road for these two teams. And again, guys, you could watch this at the gaming.youtube.com/user/page-garena/live. That is our YouTube gaming channel. Be sure to share that one, take a screenshot of the stream, and invite your friends in as we witness which team will make it to the BGS.
Yes.
And again, guys, you have to take note. This team here, Adobo Republic, is composed of players. I think Meme from Diamond, Deuces is from Celestial,
No, Deuces is actually from Cerberus.
Cerberus.
Yes, Cerberus. While Fade is from Naga.
Naga. Fade is playing, so he's the mid
Fade
laner.
is the mid laner. He
I see.
the mid laner of Naga.
So he's the speed throw. He's the speed throw. Okay, so he's gonna be holding Ari. Fade is my favorite mid laner.
Really?
Yeah, I recall those plays with Lissandra. If it's like if Azurai's favorite player is Shadow on support, mine is for Fade in the mid lane. He's making those big plays. I wonder if he's able to find his team, if that could work with him or with his play style right now. We'll see into that. It's not the end of the road for Adobo Republic. Actually, if they lose this one, they're still not out of chances in qualifying for the BGS. They still have to play the relegations against Wargans La Liga Pilipinas after this. I think Wargans La Liga Pilipinas is on standby. So whoever loses this one will be facing Wargans La Liga Pilipinas. So at least you have like 2 chances of qualifying. That's the big question. Whose team? Sino mga team ngayon ang mawawala dito sa tatlong to? Ang taas ng chance mo actually na mapunta sa PGS.
Yeah,
Well,
2/3.
Yeah, pero may mataas na prayer syempre para sa La Liga Pilipinas, especially considering that they are already in the PGS
Yeah.
and they were moving to the relegations.
And it will be hard because you would be going into a next best of 3
Yeah.
coming from a 2-game loss. So it's going to be hard
Yun
to
nga
fix the mental state of your players as well.
Ayun nga
To
eh.
go into the second best of 3 with a fresh perspective on the game, and especially going up against the veterans of PGS.
Yes, it's very likely baka nakakapagod din, di ba?
Yes.
Nakakapagod din. I know guys, yung iba sa atin, mga viewers natin, has a fair share of the competitive gaming minsan playing this best of 3, best of 5 series. Medyo mabigat even sa mga professional teams. And that's why they put a lot of practice, taking the stress of that. I think may mga teams talaga na makikita mo yung difference in a sense na some teams are very familiar playing this series. Some teams are not that familiar playing this series. For
Yeah.
example, one team who's very familiar in playing long series is TSM. Lagi sila kumaabot ng Game 5, and you could see that sometimes TSM is not the like of a team na pagdating sa best of 5 series, napapagod na.
Yeah.
Minsan nakaka-ramp up pa ng kill. They can still show a good game kapag nagtuto yung series. Pero ito, tingnan natin, will the series end 1-1? Or, will this be a 2-0 sweep? And we'll have the best talents of Bulacan entering our major league here in the Philippines for League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen. Again, sa mga viewers natin, live din tayo sa esports, live tayo sa Facebook fanpage ng Garena Pro Gaming Series. Garena Pro Gaming Series is set on schedule on January. Doon mag-i-start yung league natin that is composed of the 8 best teams in the country. Pitting against each other. And the result nito, this is the spring, by the way.
And they will be receiving the compensation as well for being a pro player.
Yeah. And actually, aside sa compensation, pag nananalo, alam ko may prize pa rin sila doon. Not to mention the grand prize din ng PGS.
And the chance to go to GPL.
And just the GPL. And I think to represent as well the All-Star Leagues. Ayan. And again, for our players, we're just going to wait out bago tayo mag-load sa ating grid. Napakahalaga ng laban na to. I think may narinig tayong update that there is one player who has a problem when it comes to booting his PC. So
okay.
we just have to wait on to that. Again, para sa mga viewers natin, I would like to take this time. It's been a long time bago kayo nayaya. Sumali po kayo sa PGS League. Yan, sa PGS League. That is the official Facebook community of the Pro Gaming Series. There's a lot of people there asking, looking for updates. If you want to ask questions, what's new with League of Legends, ano yung effective, how to play Yasuo support, nandun yung mga guides. And best part of it, aside from the shoutcasters, aside from the game masters and pro players, pwede mo yung makalaro doon, andun din yung ibang mga summoners.
I actually do enjoy playing Yasuo support.
Yasuo support?
Yeah, Yasuo support's viable. It's super fun.
Talaga?
Yeah. As long as Yasuo is not banned, why not? Yasuo support.
Well, yung pro team natin has a fair share of playing Yasuo
support. Yeah,
yes.
I know. I can imagine Yasuo
support. Brom top.
Brom top, yes.
Sona mid. Leona top.
Leona jungle. Leona Varus jungle. You've seen it all.
Yeah, Sona mid. Wow. Garena PH.
Garena PH.
The Garena people has their teleportless Ilahoy.
Yes.
Ilawi in the top lane. Yan, mga trademark yan sa opisina natin. So, guys, we'll just load into a quick break as we set this issue fixed, ladies and gentlemen. Again, kami pa yung magiging shoutcasters for this. Magbabalik po kami kaagad. Ako po si Shimbo with the 1 for 9. Kasama si Iconic. Game 2 na po tayo in this Best of 3 series. Played between JSKI Esports versus Adobo Republic, the Pro Gaming Series Promotions and Relegations. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go! Welcome back to the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Promotions and Relegations. We welcome you to the Summoner's Rift as we dive into the Game 2 in this best of 3 series played between Adobo Republic versus JSKI Esports. Do take note that JSKI Esports has taken on Game 1's victory. So they're at match points in this best of 3 series. Let's go for the champion rundown. On the blue side, it is Adobo Republic. In the top lane, it's Republic Mafia. On the Nasus jungle, you have Beme. On this, Zach. In the mid lane, it's Premise Pedro. On this, Ari. And the bottom two is going to be King High. On this, Caitlyn ADC. And Deuces RV on this Janna support.
And for the red side, JSKI Esports, we have Whistle on the top lane cannon, Kwe on the Ivern jungle. We have Bay Maxine on the Orianna mid. We have A-Style on the Jin AD carry. And we have Marviel on the Karma support.
Gaming.youtube.com/user/pagegarena/live. That is our stream link, ladies and gentlemen. Mahaba ang ating gabi. This is the first best of 3 series pa lamang. Mamaya yung second best of 3 series natin will be played between the loser of this match versus War Gods La Liga Filipinas. That is a relegation match. Ito guys, this is a promotion match. Kung sino manalo dito, automatic will be placed as one of the 8 teams that will participate in the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring. Oh. Ikaw ba, Iconic, napaisip ka ba maglaro for the Pro League?
I've had a few offers to play for like teams that want to join Piltover's Finest, but I think it's too the Piltover's Finest format is too exhausting for me, especially when I have streaming and all of that.
Oh, actually, you have to take note, guys. The Piltover's format, aside sa I think online leagues, I think we also have different. These are different set of tournaments. Diba?
Yes, across the year.
Per regions, across the Philippines, you know, so that should we want to cater more sa mga aspiring players. Actually, ang kinaganda ng Piltover's Finest is yun. We ended up having a team from Bulacan, diba? Interestingly, you faces fresh faces and fresh blood. And you can see a lot of blood being spilled here under high. Face checking that bottom lane. Now, considering no, Caitlyn versus Janna, well, kung sino mas karma, I think yun muna yung may lane dominance. Do you think how will this bottom lane go down?
Usually Caitlyn makes the bot lane matchup into a poke matchup, but since you have a Jin and the Karma, they kinda out damage the Caitlyn in the poke side of things. But that face check coming out from High was really bad because you know that the enemy has an Ivern and he doesn't need a leash. So it would be safe to assume that your enemy is actually in the brush already. If you didn't go to the brush at the start of the game, then you most probably face checking or pushing that far forward is really, really bad.
That is true, man. So, parang assumption mo na yun. It's ang taas ng chances talaga na nakatago sila sa front just because of the Ivern. You can see, I heard a flash. Yes, there is. Speed draw.
Very cheesy start coming out from the Ivern, just stealing the red buff from Adobo Republic and then instantly ganking mid, burning Fade's flash in the first 2.5 minutes of the game.
Yes, you have to take note after getting your first camp. You get to level 2, diba? So at least you get 1 level advantage. So napaka-important. Then you go for the quick gank. Paano kumonect din naman yung root caller, diba? 3 dash. And you know, with the slow as well ng ating red buff.
One of the reasons why Ari actually fell out of the meta is because she kind of depends on her ignite a lot. As compared to like these other mid lane picks like a Syndra.
Oh no, in the bottom lane, no, connected the strike onto A-Style. Lots of hits coming in mula kay King High for sa flash out sa isa sa mga bottom 2 dito ng JSKI Esports. JSKI is gonna retaliate. They're gonna join the fight na kasama na ngayon. Ito si Ivern, dahon pa mga kaibigan, pero mukhang walang maiko-connect na root caller because of the minion stacks na buo dito.
A little bit of miscommunication coming out from A-Style and the Karma. The Karma actually burned her flash because she went to the right side instead of the left side towards the Ivern. So a lot of miscommunication. You can just feel the nerves of this game. Last game you saw a lot of mechanical errors. Usually this is because the players are in a different environment right now. They are here in the studio.
Yes, actually.
And usually when you play in a new environment, it is very hard to adapt. So these players are actually kind of feeling the pressure right now. But as I was saying earlier, the reason why Syndra and Orianna see a lot of play, Victor, you you also see Victor is because they don't need the ignite because they have a ton of damage already. Unlike an Ari who has really low AP ratios, has to rely on the ignite for the extra of damage.
I recall those days na mataas ang ratios. Pero tapos meron ka pang TFG.
Yup, because back
Line of
then
burst.
when you were playing Ari, you had 50% AP scaling, but now it's reduced to 33%, and that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of, kill potential.
Yeah, but we just had a gank at mid lane where the Ari and the Zac were actually aggressive onto Baymaxine, burning both of his summoners.
I wonder kung nag-connect dun yung charm or there's the threat that force two summoner spells getting removed. Pero I'm seeing the ignite on cooldown as well dito sa ating Ari. So maybe just naman na, yeah, that's the reason why a lot of summoner spells has been burned against the mid laner dito na JSKI Esports.
As we were talking about earlier in Champ Select, usually you start with Doran's Ring and 2 Biscuits on Nasus because you need that innate man. You need the mana regen from the 50% mana regen from the Doran's Ring, aside from the 4 mana per kill. But as we can see, he is building what we were talking about earlier in Champ Select, getting the 2 Doran start. Next item you can expect is the Z-Zerots coming out from Republic Mafia, and Whistle is going to have a really hard time in the top lane.
It's even winning. I mean, that Spirit Fire build Nasus. The thing about this fast push Nasus is definitely it sacrifices the stacks.
It sacrifices the stacks for the ability to put so much pressure onto the map. As you can see, there is a CS lead coming out from Whistle.
Yeah, you can see Root Color connected also. Now, quick, gonna throw that down. Or to pair that with the, wow, Brushmaker, pero it's gonna be A-Style finishing that one with one last bullet. But you can see, tuloy-tuloy pa rin si Kwekwe dito. The aggression coming in. He's gonna flash in. Kind of medyo may pagka-wasted yung flash kasi walang maayos na follow-up. Still the first flash in the hands of JSKI Esports.
I actually not respecting the 4th bullet.
And I think just skirmish doesn't stop here. So, may pagka, ano ba yun?
The Ari's collapsing.
Talagang sobrang aggressive mga kaibigan. Connect na the root collar. And this is how you play with the Ivern, knowing that there's no damage coming in from the normal hits ng isang Zac. They're still at it, but still speed throw. That's enough time for the Arid to join this fight. Force a flash out coming in from A-Style. Marvel in a very tight spot. Gets collapsed on by Dream. No matter who will be receiving the kill. It is a double kill for Speedro 2-2 into our scoreboard.
The Goon squad of JSKI Esports staying way too long.
Yeah, way too long.
This is why wave clear is super important in the mid lane because you can make those roams to the side lanes when you push the wave up. The Ari pushed the wave up and then instantly went to the bot lane the moment they saw the fight. But Hyde saved his heal actually he could have saved Deuces from the 4th bullet coming out from A-Stat, but didn't respect the 4th bullet damage coming out from the Jin.
So hindi ginamit ng heal kagad, no?
Yup.
It's a big problem. And yep, as you mentioned, sabi mo, we're looking for a God Champion to face this Nasus. One with the kill potential sustained and wave clear. And we see na si Kenneth, hindi yun yung sagot. And right now, yeah, he's having the hardest time trying to survive at least in this, I think Max ito, no? Max Spirit Fire na Nasus if you're gonna go for the fast push Nasus.
The thing is, Whistle is going to be whittled down slowly by the Spirit Fire coming out from the Nasus. And Whistle has no innate sustain or wave clear ability to actually fight the Nasus. And even though he did have an early CS lead during the first few minutes of the game, he will lose it inevitably when the Nasus starts pushing all the minions to the turrets, and Whistle having to respect the damage coming out from Spirit Fire will have a hard time last hitting on their turret as well.
Oh, gentlemen, here we go. Quick. Still not leading to the bottom. A good caller plus the first bullet will miss Deuces. But the rest will connect out to being high. Kasama yung 4th bullet. But look at that. Quick. In a very tight spot. Good thing meron Daisy. But High has the high damage enough to take the kill against the jungler of JSKI Esports. We're gonna have a bit of a pause here. Pero again, complacent ganks in the bottom lane done here by the squad of JSKI Esports.
So ambitious coming out from JSKI Esports, trying to 100-0 the bottom lane of Adobo Esports. With the Jin, you want to chunk your enemy down so that you can get the amplified execute damage onto your enemies. But forcing it that way, where you don't have any hard engage except a root caller coming out from
Especially
Ivern,
na nag-miss.
that also missed.
Oo.
You also missed your W coming
Yeah.
out from Jin. What do you expect? You hard commit to
Yes.
you hard commit to the bot lane without dealing any damage whatsoever to Adobo Republic's bot lane. You get punished for it. You actually lose your jungler in the process.
Yes, and ito, sayang nga kasi naka 1-0 na sila eh.
Yeah.
Naka 1-0 na sila. So maybe it's about time bago ka pumasok ng PGS. Hindi lang skill yan eh.
Yeah, it's
Hindi
not.
lang
This
skill
is
yan.
this is what separates the boys from men.
Oo.
Your solo queue and your solo queue gameplay is different from competitive gameplay, in where you infuse a lot of macro and micro decisions into your game and make it that high caliber. And it is what's necessary to succeed in the competitive play.
Yes.
As you can see, Whistle actually also teleported in the tri-brush for no reason and is going to lose so much.
Yes. Okay. So guys, meron na naman technical difficulty itong ating game. So we're gonna dive into a quick break. We'll continue this game again, guys. Game 2 pa lang to. Game 2 na actually to para sa JSKI Esports. Game 2 pa lang to para sa Adobo Republic. That's the big question right now compared to the game 1. Mas konti yung time pa dito ng JSKI Esports. We're gonna be your shoutcasters. We have been your shoutcasters for this game. Ako si Shinbu with the 149. Kasama si Iconic for this game 2 in this best of 3 series PGS Promotionals and Relegations. We'll see you after a quick break. Fight, defend, ladies and gentlemen, the Pro Gaming Series Promotions and Relegations. Time to go back into the game in this game 2 for the best of 3 series played between Adobo Republic versus JSKI Esports. You're listening to us, your shoutcasters. I'm Shibu with the 1 for an eye. And of course, with me is Iconic. Nasa game 2 na tayo at 1-0 na in favor of JSKI Esports. Sa scoreboard natin, 3-2. Quite even as we're just in the early game phase. And wow, look at that. Another dive in. Spirit Rush gets activated on top of the shockwave na blinash off. It's gonna be a killing spree. Fade, Idol.
Fade, just throwing the skill shots everywhere and anywhere. I didn't actually think he'd get that kill.
Yeah, but
he threw the charm to the right, and then he threw his Q to the left, and then he pressed W, and I was like, how is that gonna work? But then he actually ends up getting the kill, flashes the shockwave coming out from Bay Maxine, and gets the kill with the last stick of Ignite and an auto attack. Wow.
So, na-miss niya ba yung Q niya?
He missed his E.
He
Anticipated that Bay Maxine would actually flash,
okay.
but then since Bay Maxine didn't flash, he threw his Q to the left instead.
Okay.
So a lot of psycho gaming, as Manjin would say.
Oh, diba? Fade eh. Kaya Idol ko si Fade.
Yeah, but again, before the pause, we saw Whistle actually teleporting to the bot lane. Wastes his TP, gets a ton of pressure on, got a ton of chunk damage onto his top lane turret right there because of just the nature of how Nasus plays. He already see the Negatron cloak and part of the Raptor cloak getting almost completed coming out from a Republic Mafia. What will Whistle do?
Zizirot na talaga to. Zizirot na talaga to. Ayan ang malaking tanong, guys. It's a very cheesy play. Very easy to copy, ladies and gentlemen. Being down here in the top lane by the Republic Mafia using this Nasus. 2 to orange ring. Plus dropping potion. Max E. And let's go in this bottom lane. A lot of poke. It's a poke game. Being won, I'd say, quite by the bottom two dito ng JSKI Esports. Pero we still have to take note. This Caitlyn is yet to die. Plus, ang taas talaga ng lane control lang sa Caitlyn because of that Yordle snap traps.
Yes, but even though we were already talking about...
Wow, the top lane, 3 members. No, that's only 2 members. Kasama namang si Daisy. Kwe. Showing how it is done with the Ivern.
Looks like a Republic Mafia just bit off more than he can chew.
Yeah.
But Meme actually going to reply with the Cloud Drake right there.
Yep, gonna get the help. Galing mula kay Speed Draw. So, once again, guys, the momentum by JSKI in that game 1 medyo hindi ramdam dito sa game 2. As it is gonna be Adobo Republic going to go for the more active plays, sending 2-man, making that 4 in this bottom lane just to get that pick up onto A-Style.
Fade and High just using their badges, showing their badges right there, responding to the badges from Bulacan.
And telling us how it is done, we have the macro play. Macro lang naman ang kailangan eh. Ganun. So, that's the big question. How can it be done? Okay? So, ayan, 12 minutes into the game, if you look into the itemizations, you can see that kahit na-pick up dun si Jean, it's a Yunmus Ghost Bleed completed now for him. Though Yunmus Ghost Bleed is not the stellar item anymore because of the nerfs. Nawala yung attack speed, right? Movement speed na lang yung meron upon activation. And you can see that BF Sword paired with I think Zeal, no? So Runans muna bago yata IE.
Yes, very standard itemization coming out from both AD carries. Yomu still is viable on Jhin. It does kind of work, but you need more lethality items. So you might expect the Dust Blade or Edge of Night coming out from this Jhin. We have seen the Edge of Night. Usually what happens is when you get Yumus, you have to commit to getting more lethality or else it's not as efficient.
Well, let's see. This is dahil Republic Mafia na hindi atas ang Innocent. He forced to use his Fury of the Sands. Connected on the corner on top of the Crash Maker. Slicing his from and that's gonna be a Nasus electrocuted to the ground. Pero hindi. It is. With the respond, magagaling mula kay Speed Draw. It is rather a 2-for-0 exchange with Weasel. Getting blown out of the top lane. Plus getting removed as well. 7-3 to our scoreboard. Even in terms of gold lead. But it seems that Adobo Republic is taking control.
The amount of sustain that Nasus has. But one thing I would like to talk about in Adobo Republic is what has Meme been doing this entire game. His mid laner has more kill kill participation that he had, he should be warding for a Republic Mafia. The first time a Republic Mafia actually died was because he shoved the lane but had no vision control, got collapsed on by Whistle and Kwekwe. This is not supposed to happen because you already know that their Nasus is going to end up pushing his lane, so you should cover for him. But Meme has been power farming this entire game and hasn't been doing anything for his team. Fade actually hard carrying for Adobo Republic right now.
One man for his own. A plan for himself. Kanya-kanyang plano, ladies and gentlemen. Pero, sa game natin, 7-3 pa lamang tayo. And grenade call, once again getting activated. Start bullet onto Juices, plus Root Caller, Brushmaker, plus Captain Ogents, even with the Dr. Monsoon. Tingnan natin mga kasama si Juices. Geeks gets popped. Baymaxing after all of that. Gets the last hit. It's the 4 members naman dito ng JSKI Esports making a pick-up in this bottom lane.
You can also see the different kinds of playstyles that the two mid laners have. Fade actually wanting to get a ton of picks, getting fed off kills and all of that.
And managed to connect as well the charm. Quite enough! Kasama si Meme gets the pop onto this enemy Oriana. Baymax C. Now you can see that A-Style is here and the rest of the members of JSKI Esports sends the Daisy into duel at least Kwekwe with high winning that one. Gonna go for the Karma paired up with the Jack, with the Sap. Gonna go for the win, double kill with 4 members gone. A big win for the Republic, ladies and gentlemen.
Cloud Drake actually landing the last hit on the Fade right there, killing Fade. Fade could have lived with a sliver of HP, but the Cloud Drake with the assist for JSKI Esports. And aside from that, Kwekwe's rush actually working against JSKI Esports because Caitlyn was able to get multiple headshots throughout that fight.
Yes, man. As in, ang laking tanong. Parang hindi nga makatarget dun si Karma, I think.
Because they didn't have vision inside the brush. So
sa brush.
it's been, this Iron pick isn't working out for JSKI Esports. Sure, they wanted to deny it away from Adobo Republic, but it doesn't. They haven't done much with it. They always force these engages onto the enemy bot lane, try to 100-0 the Janna and the Caitlyn, but have out of multiple times the attempts on the enemy bot, on the Adobo bot lane, they were only able to kill the Janna once during that last fight.
Ayan, kanina, sabi natin hindi lang kilid ang meron, kilid lamang rather ang meron ng Adobo Republic, but this time they're set. They're about to close this early game with a 2K gold lead. Tignan natin what will happen. There's collapse here in the bottom lane. Meme receiving the tether plus high, showing how it is done in terms of dominance using this kick lead. But things will go down a bit. Do take note that there's no drink available in the river side as well. So, you know, Juicy available on the map, all that song. And Ari activating the Spirit Rush, receives the Sonic Wave. And a very on-point 3-point shot done by Meme here in the mid lane, connected the Elastic Sleep.
Meme anticipating the flash coming out from Bay Maxine. Wow. But this is the Nasus again. You can see the Nasus in the mid lane because of the Z0 on the top lane.
The power of challenge, but truly will they commit against this Nasus even without the stack? The attacking is meron ng isang Nasus. Let's see ladies and gentlemen, slicing this from this last Kwek, can he deliver JSKI, who is the target? You can see that Kwek is now gone, and Republic Mafia dancing against Kwek 14-5, and things are all going south against the members here, or the team here from Bulacan.
We have a dance-off right now. Meme and a Republic Mafia just mocking Whistle because of how magic damage-oriented JSKI Esports is. They both have a ton of magic resist, cannot be killed by the Slicing Maelstrom and Kwekwe's Root Caller, so they're just mocking JSKI Esports right there. Ha ha ha, you can't kill us, but we can kill you.
By the time talaga inactivate mo yung Slicing Maelstrom, just press Solari. It's all good. It's all good, man. So, back into our game. Renuance completed din para dito kay High. Still an update. I think that's an added seal in the pocket of Ace style, especially with the nerfs. Oh, Spirit Rush didn't connect. The charm didn't connect even. The Orb of Deception didn't connect even. Plastic Slingshot. Series of skills coming from the hands of Adobo Republic, not connecting. And again, going back through these itemizations because of the nerf of the lethality. Parang nerf ng armor pen in a sense. because of the lethality, you don't really get that much lead. Adjustments na lang sa lethality. You don't get that much lead kapag armor pen dependent ka.
Yeah.
Diba? Because of the lethality update. Kasi nakadepende yun sa level talaga ng target mo. So, some Gene has opted on building the crit type, critical type Gene. You know, getting more of the utility whenever the movement speed gets proc.
But the nice thing about the Jin actually picking up the Yumus is since he is behind, he actually gets more bang for buck with this lethality item. Because if your enemies are higher level than you, so which is
you deal more
which is 4 out of 5 of the Adobo Republic team members, he actually gets more armor pen with his Yomus than he would have with a Yumus last patch with armor pen.
Yes.
So it is that is the silver lining right now for A-Style.
Yeah. Dito sa ating Jeet. Let's see how will he tries to assert that kind of advantage or silver lining in this bottom lane, sending a lot of squad dito, JSKI Esports. But in the mid lane, you could see that it is Meme kasama si Speedro already doing their work in this outer mid lane turret.
I don't know why a Republic of Mafia doesn't actually want to push past the T1 T1 top turret, because they do have decent vision control of where Kwekwe and Whistle are. They were able to spot him out in the bot lane, but he still chose to back off and finish his Spirit Visage instead. He could be applying more pressure and opening the map up more for Adobo Republic, but I fail to understand how the pushing one more wave would have actually been not worth it for him in his decision making.
Yeah. See, just a lot of magic resistance being put here in this Nasus Mafia. Just ignoring. Oh wow.
But we actually have a 2v3 skirmish right now.
Right, the bottom lane. At nawala doon si Jin, ladies and gentlemen. Now here in the blue side jungle, members of the Adobo Republic going for the cleanup against the Empire. JSKI, ladies and gentlemen, Kwek, running for his life. No brush can save you with all those hits coming from high. He is now dominating. Will they still commit onto this one? Mafia activated down. Freedom the sun, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Slicing Maelstrom gets activated as well under turn. Forced to use front of that flashes in. Let's bounce after this act. Next toss onto Weasel. And a Monsoon sending away this cannon. Still, the dominance has been won. I think that's a 4-0 exchange. Big favor, big lead here in the mid game by the Adobo Republic.
Adobo Republic showing the new bloods how the veterans actually work when they are comfortable.
Yeah.
Fade is not new. Fade and High both not new to playing in
from
the studio,
yes.
and from behind
yes,
as well. Meme also having experience in playing in the studio also says this is a veteran team and they are relatively they are closing this game out with relative ease, as compared to last game where it was somewhat a closer fight.
Yes, 22 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Cloud Drake secured here by the Adobo Republic. Available Drake to come next would be an Infernal Drake. And right now in this mid-game phase, ayun ang malaking tanong para sa JSKI Esports. Because if you are vying to become a PGS team, hindi to dapat bago sa'yo yung maglaro mula from behind, playing from behind. And right now, they definitely are behind. 7k gold lead on top of that 13 kill lead against the Adobo Republic. Malaking tanong.
What's weird is actually how the Whistle is actually itemizing also Baymaxine. Whistle opting for a blasting one instead of finishing his Zhonya's Hourglass. So we might see him actually rush the Void Staff before Zhonya's Hourglass, which is somewhat smarter, but it makes him more vulnerable to highest damage.
Yeah.
Aside from that, Baymaxine getting the needlessly large rod, but then double thinking rushing the Rabadons goes instead for 2 components of the Abyssal Scepter. So there's a lot of second thoughts right now for JSKI Esports, because ideally you would want one of these AP carries, namely the Kennen or the Orianna, to go for an Abyssal Scepter, especially with this kind of composition where 4 of your damage sources are AP. So why didn't they think of this during the start of the
Sorry,
game?
may changes ba sa Abyssal Scepter?
Abyssal Scepter doesn't reduce flat armor magic resist, but instead amplifies the amount of magic damage they receive by 10%.
Adjustment pa rin. So, in a sense, nakaka-mitigate pa rin naman siya yung resistance na nanggagaling mula dito sa mga Solari, Merc Threads, and even Visage now completed.
I think it's actually a buff because it's 10% in general, where if your enemy doesn't have any MRES, or if your enemy has a ton of MRES, it doesn't matter because of how MRES works. When you stack a ton of MRES, it gives you diminishing returns on the percentage of reduced damage. So it means that it's gonna be better for champions that are tankier, but it's gonna work less for champions who have less magic resist.
I think additional magic damage, di ba?
Yes.
So kung additional magic damage, it doesn't matter kung ilan pa yung Empress na kalaban.
It is factored after.
Factored after. Okay. It's factored after. Spirit Rush soon will put more durability against Deuces. Daisy has been sent in. Deadly players get sidestepped by Deuces. Not even needing the Howling Gale to peel off as JSKI Esports cannot make the kill. But you can see High is gone after that team fight in the top lane. That leaves JSKI Weasel here in the bottom lane to trade up with Republic Mafia. Republic Mafia being a big problem now against the team here from Bulacan. Stacking up that Z0 portal, prioritizing magic resist. He could even build the banner of command actually.
That would be very, very annoying for JSKI, but he's actually just gonna opt for the Trinity Force.
Yeah. Building that Trinity Force, ladies and gentlemen. So, at least combat na. Seryosohan na yung build dito ni Republic Mafia. I think overkill na rin naman na mag-ano ka pa, banner of command.
But just look how perfectly balanced the composition of Adobo Republic is. They have 280 damage sources, which is the Nasus' Q and the Caitlyn. And they also have a ton of magic damage, which is the Spirit Fire mixed with Meme and the Aries damage as well. So it's really hard for JSKI Esports to actually itemize defensively. Also considering that they don't have a true tank on JSKI Esports side, while they have two on Adobo Republic side.
I'll find you later.
Lane, nawala si Weasel. Kasi bigla na lang nakita ko si High na naka-unstoppable na. But as I recall, ang mga streak pala, hindi na break no, bounty lang. Pero may streak ka pa.
I think they also get broken.
Unstoppable na agad si
But
High.
he was 6. He came from a 6 kill streak, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 6 or 5.
So hindi siya nagre-reset pag nakamatay ka?
It just goes down to
Umaatras
the
lang,
appropriate gear.
Okay. Same lang talaga ng bounty system yan. So, 19-6, ladies and gentlemen. High, sitting on a 722 KDA. Static shield plus Runons on this Infinity Edge will deal a lot of damage, a lot of skill bends mula kay Meme, not connecting against Marviel, but enough to buy time as the bottom two here of the Adobo Republic. Gonna go for that push shockwave onto Meme. That signals for Spirit Rush kasama ang cross of belt. It's Pedro. Wait mga kaibigan, cleaning up in, managed to charm in A-style, and now they're gonna go on to this Marviel Karma mga kaibigan. No Spirit Rush to go for any dive. Meme yet to cast his elastic slingshot, but that's enough to allow Speedrun to connect the charm. So, nawala na dito si Bay Maxine, another pick up in the top lane. Yep.
Well, these are not the kinds of fights that JSKI Esports wants to take.
Yeah.
Because they are half an item behind on all champions, on all members of JSKI Esports. They should opt for fights where they can get a numbers advantage, not fighting 3v5. Very questionable team fighting decisions right now by JSKI Esports. Exactly. So what they have right now is a good team fighting pick comp with the Jin and mixed with an Orianna and the Kennen, but they haven't gotten any big team fights because of how Fade has been excelling so far with this Ari High on the Caitlyn and Meme on the jungle Zac. Just getting these picks onto JSKI and then snowballing them into more objectives.
So, yeah, kanina pa lang dito ating Infernal Blink. That's gonna be massive on top of the 2 Cloud Ring mobility for big ops. Plus, they've been dominating a lot of team fights one by one. Now, they're gonna put, they're gonna cover that one with an Infernal Drake as well. So, JSKI, next objective na available sa mapa natin. Bara na lang. Bara
Yeah,
na
but
lang.
this is also JSKI's draft. Why did they pick this Ivern if they can't even utilize it? High actually being able to turn this pick from JSKI Esports
In his favor.
in his favor. That fight by the Dragon a few minutes ago, that was all because of Quequest in Ivern pick.
Curious pa rin talaga ako sa Ivern pick kahit sino pumili.
Yeah, because
Oo.
Caitlyn can use those artificial brushes to her favor, especially in fights in open areas like that. It actually makes the battle zone somewhat constricted because of the lack of vision, because of the vision obstruction coming from the brushes.
So, yung laro natin medyo nag-reset siya. What you could see here is a battle for vision on the red side jungle. But do take note, there's a lot of pressure being done on the bottom lane side because of this Nasus. This is 15-time Nasus. Double skill across in. Di nag-connect ang ating Sonic Wave. Even Fade. Moving half is Mastery 6, Mastery 5 na Ari. So, it's just a matter of cleaning up. High with a double kill. Removing the support plus the jungle. And now, allowing Republic Mafia as well to go for a dominating sleep. Teleport sa harapan. Gang to rin ang mga next starts. This is the Republic winning up and gonna remove the game 2 against the team from Bulacan. Howling Gale to sustain enough. Isama mo doon yung movement speed ng ating Cloud Drake. Lots of members. Jean plus this cannon of JSKI Esports being pushed there back against their own base wall as, you know, hindi sila makatilang ng damage kay Mafia.
Yeah.
A lot of magic resistance coming in from Mafia. It's only Jean that deals damage. A-style, ladies and gentlemen. This is the next turn going down. And this is Game 2 going down in the hands of the Adobo Republic. Done by Adobo Republic.
Yeah,
I mean,
they just showed JSKI Esports how it's done.
it's, hindi siya ganun ka-intuitive in a sense na outclass talaga. Parang in-outclass in terms of macro. Plus capitalizing on this Ivern as well.
Yeah, that's just like we were talking about earlier. It's the story of the jungler, and it's a jungler-dominated meta right now, and you need very lane-dominant picks. What we saw right there was like
Na-dominate yung jungler.
they
Ivern.
dominated Ivern.
Oo.
He wasn't able to get any ganks.
At ang nag-capitalize pa doon, yung champion na pinakakaya mag-dominate ng lane.
Exactly.
Si Hai, si Caitlyn pa.
Yes. So you can just see like how Adobo Republic first picking the Caitlyn, super confident in High to carry the game, was able to carry it. It's very, 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 very assuring. It seems like the ball's now in JSKI Esports, is now in Adobo Republic's court, and it's now time for JSKI Esports to try to take the next game away from them.
Nicely done. Nicely done by Hai. Actually, interesting yan kasi if Adobo Republic loses this one, diba? Whoever loses this one will face La Liga Pilipina. I'm very curious about how will the fight between Adobo Republic versus La Liga Pilipina. If ever that happens.
That would be interesting because it
Hai-
would be High
Hai's
versus his former team.
Oo, as in talagang yung former team ng La Liga Pilipina, it's like the better ADC. Kung sino man yung kukuning ADC dito ay papakita ang ADC dito ng La Liga Pilipina. Meanwhile, for the side of JSKI Esports, still, you know, there's high hopes for this team. But wow, ito is
That's
scoreboard.
interesting actually. A Republic Mafia dealing more damage than Fade, even though Fade has had the most kill participation coming out from the team. Fade was obviously throwing his skill shots everywhere. He was everywhere with his skill shots, but he got the picks, he got the snowball rolling.
I think
for Adobo
si
Republic.
Mafia nag-spam lang talaga ng Spirit Fire. So,
Possibly as well.
yun lang talaga yung ginagawa niya. So, ang taas talaga ng damage niya. Hitting everyone with one skill. Ganon. Compared to Fade, what I'd say about Fade or kay Speedroar is that efficiency ang term nito. Kapag nakikita mo na yung stats or bar ng isang player, despite his influence in the game, eh, hindi ganun kataas. Efficiency yon na ganun lang yung damage na dinideal niya. Pero yung mga nakukuha niyang targets is crucial targets. Not necessarily the tanks, not necessarily the frontline or whoever is in front. Ganon.
That was actually really interesting as well because it was actually Fade's mid turret that actually went down first in the game. And it's usually the team that has the most pressure, they actually get the first turret. So it is kind of weird, like Baymaxine prioritizing the chip damage onto the mid lane turret instead of rotating.
That is the early game and mid game phase macro. Feel ko doon sila talaga nag-capitalize. Kahit parang set na sana yung mid lane ng JSKI to dominate the lane. Removing Fate Star first, di ba? Ayan. So, let's see. Ang daming pinapakita ng mga teams nito sa bawat isa. Hindi lang ito parang laban para mag-qualify sa PGS, di ba? Parang character to, bakit mas magaling kami.
Yeah.
Diba? Nagkakalabasan ng Mastery 7.
It seems very personal now.
It's a really nice game, ladies and gentlemen. I like it that it turned it na ganito siya, ganito yung peg niya kasi talaga crucial yung laban. So game 3 na tayo, match point na ng best of 3 series na to. At kami po yung naging shoutcaster for that game. Ako po si Shinmu with the one for an eye. Kasama syempre si Iconic. That is game 2. Victory won by Adobo Republic against JSKI Esports in this best of 3 series. We're gonna go to game 3, ladies and gentlemen, the Pro Gaming Series 2017 Spring Promotions and Relegations. We'll be back after a quick break.